the totem poles is from the tribes. The tribes is Aboriginal people's tribe, or First Nations people's tribe. At that time, the French people called them Indian. So this is like an Indian's big tribe. Their family grow bigger and bigger. They have to build up this big totem to let other people know this is their area, this is their territory, and that their family is big and strong. So this is what they do. And these collections are from everywhere of Canada. It's about 100 years old. So they don't know exactly which year it was carved or made, but they know that it's about more than 100 years. So only that one's a little bit special. That one has two fishes there. That's salmon. So because that tribe is close to Pacific Ocean, it's from the British Columbia. So all of the totem poles, they have the different figures. The most popular figure you can see is human, which is the leader of the group. And also we can see eagle, which is the power. And also we can see dog somewhere. So this is only, except for only that one has fish. No other totem poles, there's a fish there. So okay, so let's go this way. At that time, European people did not come to Canada yet, but they already have this kind of story. So because the local Indian people, we call them Aboriginal people. The Aboriginal people do not have their own characters. They don't have writing and reading. So that's why they pass the stories generation by generation. So this is called oral stories, oral legend. 这个呢是一个加拿大的艺术说，是说在很远古的时候发生了一场大的洪水，然后呢。
lãnh địa của nó. British Columbia. British Columbia. Đẹp quá. Lát đâu con? Lát trước đi trước, nhưng mà em đứng để cho mọi người đi qua.
People. So this is the stories they're talking. So because they don't have.
A beach boat did you say? And the women that were the woman there, you should not come
Finish it. Buffalo. So actually, North American buffalo is also called front and jump to the cliff and then all die. So this is the way they hunt. 我们看到的。First Nations, is the official name of Aboriginal people. At that time, European people called them as Indians. So, but you can see the faces, it really look like Mongolian people, right? So, because it is said in the Ice Age, this is the people who come from Asia, crossed the frozen surface of the ocean, and came to North America. This is one of the theory. So why they look like totally like a North Asian
regional chief representative.
I remember 是典型的亚洲人，是黑眼睛、黑头发的。那么有一来生活的，很快呢，这个海面就变成红化了，他们就回不去了，留在了加拿大。玉米的人啊，欧洲人来的时候呢，看到了玉米，觉得是很神奇的庄稼。那么玉米就是可以说是他们发明的一种种植方式。这是一个呢是来自这个海豹或者海豹皮，还有一个呢是来自mostly like from the beaver skin.
The community gave him the name. So they wanted to name him. It was important for us to
Vikings, the Viking people. So the Viking people is like from North Europe. So they came to Canada in 1500s. So they are actually the first European people to step on the land of North America. So, but the thing is that they did not really stay here for too long time. But in today's Canada's Newfoundland, you can still see some of the places that used to be lived by Viking people. But they don't know the real reason why Viking abandoned Canada and went back. We're standing inside. It's like the real house of the Aboriginal people. The house is this big. It looks very big. So we actually have a tour that we go to visit their village. This house, of course, is made of wood. It's not iron, but it has three levels. So the 3 levels of bed. So people can sleep here, and second level and third level. So they want their family to be as big as possible. So in those days, Indian people want to be a big family. 在那个时候呢，那么这个呢是这样，有一个法国人呢，在1633年，一个庞大的猎人的部落做了记录，这也是加拿大历史上第一次的人口统计啊，第一次的人口统计。那么他在1633年的时候呢，他看到了这样的一个图画，他当时。That is very new to North America. 当法国人来到加拿大的时候，他们带进来最重要的东西就是农业，所以这是当时法国人带来的农具啊，在17世纪的时候带来的农具，是能存下来一个轮廓。Used by French and British， 这是当时法国人和英国人用的最典型的枪支啊。那么左边就是英军的枪，右边就是法军的枪啊。那么当时的英国人跟法国人他们打的这一仗，我们在在我们讲前面的部分的印第安人的部分，后面呢法国人和英国人打起仗来，这就是我们讲的7年之战。So this is the 7 Years War we talked about on the bus. So after this, the French is conquered. So and then we go to the other hall, which is the British era. 这 Okay, so everybody, we talked about the Canadian history. Of course, we have to talk about the United States. So United States established in 1776, right? So 美国是1776年成立的. So after 1776, the America only have the 13 states, and then they started to expand. 在那个美国在当时只有13个州，迅速他们开始进行扩张. So in 1812, they decided to cross the river into the Sonoras River. You know, Sonoras River serves as the border between Canada and the U.S. So they decided to cross the Sonoras River and come into Canada. So they want to take over Canada. What at that time, Canada is different. It's not today's Canada, because Canada was established in 1867. So at that time, it was still British colony. It was called the province of Canada. The English-speaking part is called Upper Canada. The French-speaking part is called Lower Canada at that time. So the American people come over, cross the river, and start to attack. You can see the American army. They have a different color of uniform. So the British Army was using the traditional uniform, which is red. And the red uniform has one big problem, is that it's so easy to be aimed, right? So at that time, it was not good because it's era to use a rifle already. So, but actually at the end, Canada did not lose this battle. So the War of 1812, the end of the war, this war lasted about 2 years. So after this 2 years, they had a treaty, they had an agreement, and then they keep the status quo. So the Canada did not take an American land, American did not take Canada land. But in this battle, the American army did enter Canada. They actually entered the Toronto, today's Toronto. They go to the City Hall of Toronto and burn down the City Hall. So, and then Canadian army, which is a British army, pushed back till pushed the American army back and to the south of the river. And the Canadian army actually entered the White House. And it is the first time that the White House was burnt, and maybe that's the last time, right? So White House used to be burnt by Canadian army. So you can also say it is British army because it's not a real concept of today's Canada. 1812. Canada has a big forest and have a big supply of trees. So the British really need this wood or lumber. They need this wood to take back to build a ship. So later, because in the 18th century, whoever can control the ocean, who can control the world. So that's why the British army is very powerful because of their ship is very strong. So their battleship is built by Canadian wood, and then because it's so far away to ship the Canadian wood back to England, so later they just directly set up the ship manufacturer factories right here in Canada. So they actually build the ships, British ships in Canada by the trees. Some of the trees that is really tall is very valuable. They can sell it by a very high price in the UK. So because the central hull of the big boat, they really need a really strong and tall wood. So this kind of tree can be sold by the price of a house at that time.
Nous allons organiser une corvée et nous allons fournir tout ce qu'il faut pour divertir les laboraires. Nous allons organiser une corvée et nous allons fournir tout ce qu'il faut.
And institutionally, he was known throughout the world as a great.
Before 1867, this is 3 years, is the time that people discuss to build up this country. Talking about Canada's establishment, it is really different from the United States of America because it's not like independent by a war and battle with the mother country that is British. So it's not like that. So why Canada is established? So because 1867, the British told Canada that Canadians, English-speaking people and the French-speaking people, you guys have to combine, work together, build a country. Because British, as a mother, I don't have any power to protect you anymore. Because after 1812, they think that American anytime can cross the river to take Canada. 1867, why this year is important? Because from 1861 to 1861 to 1865, do you know what happened in the US? 1861, 1865, what happened? 1865, American President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. What happened? 1861 to 1865, yeah, that's American Civil War. So after American Civil War, US combined into one strong country. So in this time, they started to expand to the west. So and then Canada the British think the US will soon after take over whole Canada. So that's why the British Queen said, we don't have any power to send any army there to defend your place. So we cannot defend this province anymore. So that's why they signed an agreement that is called the British North American Act to let Canada to be independent. So it's like America is like, if you say America and Canada both are a son of British, so like American is like a son, I want to be independent. I want to separate from your family, right? So the Canada is like a son really listens to mom and always protected by mom. But then mom said, you have to be independent now. You have to protect yourself. And then so the English and the French people, they work together. In Prince Edward Island, they had a meeting, very important meeting in 1867 that they decided to build up this country. So one of them is the first Prime Minister of Canada. Do you know which one? 在这个图里边呢，是有一个是加拿大第一任总理，你知道哪一个是第一任总理吗？ So, his name is Sir John A. Macdonald, but which one is Macdonald? 在这个 picture 里面不是这个哈，在这个 picture 里面，这是一个 This is you can point for me. You can point for me. No. 第一任总理 ，but why is it? 为什么他坐在那里 ？Because 他们选在爱德华王子岛，因为爱德华王子岛有丰富的海鲜，他们天天开会就喝醉了，是犯罪状态。那么在加拿大的选举上的时候，当时加拿大人说，我们宁愿选一个。Within 5 years to connect two oceans. A big railway to connect two oceans. But in 19th century, beginning of 19th century's technology, it's really hard. So even nobody can believe that Sir John Macdonald can make it to build up a railway in 5 years. So and then even Canada didn't have enough labor. So where did they get the labor? They went to China. So they got the labor from Canton, China, from the south of China. So lots of Chinese labor was shipped into Canada to build up this railway. Amazingly, really in 5 years, Canada finished this railway. So to connect the two oceans. So it's about more than 5,000 kilometers long. In 1860s to 70s, that's very, very amazing. So this is the last picture I was taking. This is the director of CN's Canadian National Railway. So this guy hammers in the last nail of the railway, so which means that the railway actually finished. So the year is 1885. 是在1885年的时候，加拿大。那么因为这个图片里面没有一个中国人，而是中国人站在前面，所以他认为这是一个有歧视，当时在加拿大是一个争议的一个照片，但它依然是历史性的。
Sau đó đối xử tồi tệ nhân tạo đã mới xảy ra chuyện.
Vũng Tàu với gara. Thì xe lửa giả.
这就是这个架子，这就是这个。 对，铁主呀，就是这个。你看，这上面的工人都是中国人。哦。然后呢，他们建的就是这样的铁路支架。你看这劳工都是中国人。So here, you can see that actually Canada invented in 1885. After the railway is finished, Canada invented time zone. Time zone is invented in Canada. 那么因为这个横跨大西洋和太平洋的铁路建成以后呢，那么这个铁路在走的过程之中就有时间的问题了。所以加拿大是世界上第一个国家发明了时区制的啊。所以现在这个时区制是来自加拿大的发明啊，发明人就是他，就这个人 Fleming。Not only five. So when Canada started immigration, the British and the French, they all advertisement in their country. They want their people to come to Canada. So I will do this. Yeah, that's okay. That's no problem. So they want their people to come to Canada. This is very typical advertisement they do in British. So like and French. So like they say, like if you go to Canada, Canada's call for women, right? Because they want women to go to Canada. So if you go there, you can be a beautiful housewife, and you can have guys don't touch it. So you can be a beautiful housewife, and you have a beautiful land. Guys, don't touch it. Okay, so and actually, this is the actual life. This picture was taken in 1914. So even women come here, they have to work hard labor. So like this one, they say in Canada you have ready-made farm. The farm is ready. This is a typical advertisement. When you come here, you can find that this is like this. Yeah, in central Canada.这个小木屋呢是送给他的，政府送给他的。你来了以后，你就有40亩地和一个小木屋啊。那么从这里开始，但是呢，他们的生活也是非常艰难的，所以第一批移民来加拿大的时候是从零建起来的。OK， 好的，那么我们现在离开这里。Winnipeg is one of the first English city. So you can see this is the typical family life. So they need a big family at that time, like this one. Yep.